Hey, my name is Matt Marcellino. Thank you again for tuning into our podcast. We're the law firm of Marcellino and Tyson. I'm sitting here with Clay Campbell. He's an attorney here in our office as well as one of my partners. He practices in civil law or civil litigation. And there's a earlier podcast where he kind of explained what is civil litigation and essentially how to get a civil litigation claim started by filing a complaint and answer. And in that, he hit on a couple of ideas, one of which was a motion to dismiss. And the reason why we do this podcast is because we get a lot of questions from clients, potential clients. They want things, or they want to know about things, or they don't understand why they can't have things. So we decided to do this podcast. But motion to dismiss is something that comes up even in family law, because I practice family law and business transactional work, right? And you do civil litigation, no family law,
no,
zero, because
that's not me.
That just in your bag, right?
No.
So but civil litigation, but everybody always asks, even as of today, hey, why is this lawsuit here? Can I get a motion to dismiss, right? So explain to me what a motion to dismiss is and when that's applicable.
Sure. So one of the ways that you can respond to a complaint is a motion to dismiss. And the court can kick out the case for any number of reasons. Improper party, the court doesn't have jurisdiction over the party or the subject matter. So you can't file bankruptcy in state court, for example. If you have to file bankruptcy, you're going to federal court. So if you file bankruptcy in state court, the court's going to kick it out. The biggest one we use is failure to state a claim. That's the one that everybody wants to win on. And basically that's asking the court, even if everything is true in that complaint, I still win. Even if you treat everything they say as true, they still don't have enough to win with this case.
All right, let's back up. So what is an improper party? What
Sure.
is a party?
So maybe you named, in our previous podcast, we talked about a car wreck case. I rear-ended you.
Sitting at a stoplight.
Instead of naming me, my son happens to be a junior. You named my son the junior. He would be the improper party in that case. That would be an example I've dealt with in the past.
So you put the wrong name.
Put the wrong name. You misnamed a company. So if there's a company that has a proper name, you have to sue whatever the company's name is as registered with the Secretary of State. You can't just say Walmart. You have to go and look at what the registered agent information or the registered corporate information. Yeah, whatever their legal name is. So Walmart Stores of North Carolina, Inc., if that's the case.
The person that did the thing that you allege they did, you must get essentially their legal name on that paper. That makes them a proper party.
That makes them the proper party.
So if you mess that up, it's an improper party.
That's right. I can get the case. If you sue the wrong party, that party can get the case kicked.
That would be silly, right?
Yeah. Silly, but I've definitely dealt with it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, especially in the corporate world. You see them misnaming corporate defendants not infrequently.
Okay. What else? So the motion to dismiss is based on the complaint?
Only thing you look at is the complaint and law. Okay. You don't get to look at an affidavit or some sort of outside information outside of the complaint unless I say that. There are exceptions, but generally it's based solely on the complaint.
So the earlier podcast, when you explained what the complaint was, the complaint included elements.
Yes.
So what I would say, let's just say buzzwords, necessary buzzwords that must be included in a complaint to put the other party on notice as to what is going on. What am I being sued for, right? So then the motion to dismiss is essentially saying you failed to put in some of those buzzwords.
Exactly right.
Okay.
You did not check all the boxes to proceed with your case. Right. Yep.
Is a motion to dismiss available at any point in time during the litigation?
Technically, yeah, but you want to use it as early as you can because if you're right and there is not really a lawsuit that's valid, you don't have to go through the whole lawsuit. You get to dispense with all the other stuff. Okay. And clients would much prefer that if they can. That's why so many of them ask for it, I think. Okay. They're like, if I just get it dismissed, I don't have to pay your bill.
Right. So we don't do personal injury stuff here, right? But a simple explanation would be, if I'm sitting at a red light, you rear end me, and I get hurt. I got some medical bills, right? Ouch. Got a C collar on, all the stuff, right? And I file a lawsuit against you. Let's say that I put in your name correctly, and that I was sitting at an intersection. You're driving a vehicle. You drove it unsafely, and you rear-ended me. But I stopped there. I didn't say you actually caused me any damages or physical pain. If I didn't include that last line, what happens to my complaint?
You've not alleged damages. Damages are a necessary thing. Case gets kicked out.
Because you filed a motion to dismiss to kick out my complaint.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So that's essentially a motion to dismiss. There's other ways to get rid of a lawsuit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's like a motion for summary
Motion
judgment.
for summary judgment. There's a thing called motion for judgment on the pleadings. A couple of real infrequently used stuff. Summary judgment is probably the next one that gets used the most.
We'll do that on maybe the next podcast.
Yeah.
How frequently are motions to dismiss successful?
Rarely.
Okay. And
The standard is so high for kicking out a complaint, and the standard is in North Carolina so low for what you have to put in the complaint that most complaints satisfy the standard.
And how frequently do you think your clients want the lawsuit to be dismissed?
I have never had a client not ask me when it will be dismissed.
Right. It's hard for a client to understand that the likelihood is almost zero, right?
Oh yeah, because they heard about that one time that somebody did get it happen, and so.
Or it just doesn't make sense to them. Why are we here? This doesn't
Just call the
seem
other
fair.
lawyer and tell him to get rid of this, or tell her that she filed a bad lawsuit, or whatever the case may be. Well, that's not the way the process works.
It's not the way the process works, and the other side is most certainly not going to listen
No,
to that.
because they think that they're right.
That's right. Okay. All right. Well, so thank you, Clay. Motion to dismiss the complaints we were talking about in the prior podcast, I guess is what we're calling this, right? So that's super helpful to know. There is a process. The process is very unlikely to be successful. I mean, somebody really has to mess up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's really that
I
simple.
mentioned earlier the statute of limitations. That's the one way that you can get a case kicked out, is if the complaint shows that they didn't file the lawsuit in time. That's the one time where I've, I guess, been successful the most. The one way.
The statute of limitations is dependent upon the cause of action, but for again, we're going to keep using this car accident thing. So a negligence claim's 3 years.
3 years.
So if I got rear-ended in a car accident by Clay, 3 years and a day to today, and I file my lawsuit, I'm toast. Right? That would be
I'm
the basis
certainly-
for a
yeah,
motion to dismiss.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully this was informative and helped you understand what a motion to dismiss is based on the complaint itself, how frequently they are successful, which sounds like very little, but still a lot of good questions to ask your attorney or us if you choose to hire us and so forth, and we'll shoot you straight. Sometimes it's not worth the cash to proceed upon, obviously, but we'll be always exploring those options, and just trust us that we know when to file things and when to consider things. But otherwise, hope this has been helpful. Tune into the next episode. Probably be talking about a motion for summary judgment, which is similar but much, much different than a motion to dismiss.